Hello, my lovely rose garden. This is Avalon,
And Ray.
and we're doing something a little bit different today by tier ranking Fire Emblem Engage characters. I did edit this slightly. The tier maker that we're looking at was specifically made with regards to the character designs. And I will link the original tier maker that we're using in the description, so if you want to go ahead and rank the designs, you can. But I'm going to be using this more to rank how I feel about the characters overall. And I have changed the tiers, so let's go over the tiers. Starting at the bottom, actually. I like to start at the bottom. So,
Okay.
the bottom tier is I'm not reversing time for you.
If you die, you're dead.
If you die, that's it. I'm not going to any extra lengths to get you back. You're just dead. I don't care. And I do typically play on classic mode when I'm playing Engage. I also play classic mode on Three Houses, but because I have the Time Crystal or Divine Pulse, I feel like classic is a lot easier than with some of the older games where you don't get to just reset your turn in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
So these are the characters that if they die, I'm not going back. Fuck it. The next tier up is good filler. These are characters that I don't feel super strongly about, but they're good enough units that if they die, I will go back in time to save them. They're just kind of okay. Frequently on my team is for my mainstays. They're the characters that I really enjoy playing with. Maybe they're not my favorite out of all the characters, but I do legitimately enjoy them and like them being on my team. S support worthy are for the husbandos and waifus, the characters that I will make sure I get all their supports. They will almost always be on my team. They will almost always have an emblem ring equipped. They get a little bit of extra love. And of course, the top tier is for Marth.
Marth isn't here.
He is in my heart, though.
Yeah, but Marth isn't here.
I love him. And if a character can compete with my love for Marth, then they can go in the Marth tier. They can share the Marth tier. But overall, Marth is just too good and deserves to be a cut above everyone, even if he's not here. And yeah, the emblems aren't here, but I probably will still talk about the emblems, at least the ones that, I can remember off the top of my head. So assume that any ones I don't mention would be in the good filler or I'm not reversing time for you areas. Also, I'm just going to say spoilers for DLC content, even though I don't see the DLC exclusive characters here, because it is very possible that I might just slip up and start talking about some of the characters as they appear in the DLC.
Oh, yeah, what? There's no DLC characters. Well, my favorite guy isn't here. I might as well leave.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find one that had also all of the DLC characters or with all the emblems. So these are just the, I guess, main game exclusive characters.
Oh, man.
So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I think we're good to get started. And you've been warned about spoilers, so let's go ahead and start with male Aeriel. He is Fire Emblem protagonist to me. He is pure of heart and dumb of ass.
Yeah.
And while I know that everyone has made jokes about Pepsi with the red and blue color scheme, I think with the history of Fire Emblem and with what they're kind of going for with the color coding, I think it makes a lot of sense and plays into his character really well.
Yeah.
So, and of course that also applies to female Aeriel. I'm gonna go S support.
Okay.
If I was playing as like a self-insert character, I would S support male Aeriel.
I mean, I would probably put him in frequently on my team, like middle of the road. He's a little generic for me.
Fair enough. That said, female Aeriel.
Female Aerier's S support worthy. She's cute.
For me, I would put her in good filler. And I
like her design a little more, and it's the same character.
Yeah, it's like... I understand the appeal of the character. I do love her long hair. I think that the long hair in this game is really fun. But like there's just something about the way her top is designed where it just really feels like it's got this like bustier right under the tits that just really makes them stand out. And maybe that's a draw for some people, but I am not a tit person myself. So for me, it's just kind of distracting when I see her design. I'm like, maybe in an alternate outfit I would like her more, but I don't like.
So because I put her in
design.
as support worthy and you put her as good filler, I think we should put her frequently.
Yeah, we'll go for the middle. We'll go for the average and put frequently on team.
Yeah.
Vander.
I like Vander.
I like Vander, but how much do I like Vander?
I mean,
like
the fact that he's 35 really makes me mad.
Yeah, like that does piss me off that he's only 35 years old apparently.
I mean, he's not 35. That is a lie.
Like
I know that it's like, you know, up against all these teenagers or whatever, he looks like an old man, but that is not a 35-year-old. I am 33. He is not 2 years older than me.
Yeah, that's a fucking insult. Like, his life has not been that hard.
He's like, has things where he's talking about retirement, and I'm like, dude, you're 35.
Yeah, like,
you're worrying about buying a house right now.
He's training his replacements already, and I'm like, sir? So ignoring that, because he does not read like a character that is 35 years old, I do like his design. I do love that he likes knitting, and he's kind of like the, you know, dad who's hard to please to Clan and Fram, or like, you know, the stern mentor figure. He is a pre-promoted class, which means that he's great in the early game and then sucks in the late game because he does not grow very quickly.
Yeah.
So
he's just kind of who you rely on in the beginning.
Yeah, and like I do love a Cavalier unit though. So I think I would at least put him frequently on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, frequently on my team.
He's not filler for sure.
All right, and here we have Clan Deku himself.
I would put him in good filler. I don't think it, like, after you get a better mage, like, he's just gone.
Yeah, like, he's cute.
I only put him in good filler because he has Deku's voice. Otherwise, I would not reverse time for you. I'm sorry, little boy.
You know, it is a lot that it's Deku's voice actor, and it's Deku's voice actor giving a very Deku performance.
Yeah.
At that. And I do love his interactions with his sister. I think that they're very cute. But they are definitely a pair, and they are not the best of either of their unit types that you can get.
Not at all.
You know, since I do have the DLC, I might make him a mage cannoneer just to fuck around with that, but mostly just because, but even then, my decision to do that is mostly because I don't want to fuck up someone else by making them a mage cannoneer if mage cannoneer turns out to suck.
Yeah.
And if it's good, then it might make him viable. Yeah. So yeah, he's good filler, and honestly, I would say the same about Fram.
See, for Fram, I'm not reversing time for you. You don't have the boon of having Deku's voice, so I'm just all like, sorry, girly, if you die, you die. Them's the breaks.
I would reverse time for her only to get her supports. If I have all of her supports, I would not reverse time for her. So I think I am gonna... You know, I think the average is not strong enough to put her into good filler. I'm not reversing time for Fram.
Sorry, girly.
Like, only if I don't have her supports completed. If her supports are complete, that's it. Alfred.
I like Alfred.
I like Alfred a lot. He's a himbo.
And he's like a good unit. I would say frequently on my team.
He is...
I would let him into my castle.
I would let him in my castle. He could stoke my hearth.
Well, like, okay, I would not support him. He reminds me too much of like a good-natured, like a light side version of fucking Dimitri. I
mean, he is Dimitri and Dedu's love child.
He's Dimitri
in my mind.
Dedu's love child. He's Dimitri if he got therapy.
Yeah,
But like, you know, I all respect to people who are DTF Dimitri. I look at him and I see just Sun Boy is my rabid little raccoon man.
Yeah, I see a feral little garbage rat.
Feral little garbage
and
rat.
some people are into that. All right, so
Yeah.
I would S support Alfred, and I know that he is very popular to be shipped with Alir. I guess
Yeah,
their romantic interactions are really
I've heard
good.
that as well.
So I think I am gonna put him. I'm gonna go for the middle, and I'm gonna put him frequently on my team, but I am gonna put him ahead of female Alir.
Yeah.
I think is slightly better.
Because here, the position on the tier lists matter.
Yeah,
It drives me nuts when people are doing tier lists and like the position
and they just
on
lump
it
them.
And I'm just like, no, it matters.
Yeah, no. The closer you are to like the color block, the higher you are within that tier.
Okay.
Saline.
I like Saline.
I love
not gonna
Saline.
lie. She's such a good mage character. She immediately replaces Deku.
Like her whole outfit, the long hair, the open, fluffy, flowy skirt, the huge ass flower crown that marks her as the person who is inheriting the crown. I don't care what canon says.
Yeah, like she. I don't care what canon says either. She is for sure. She is for sure the one in line for the throne. She has the bigger crown.
She is more responsible. She is respectful. She's very mindful, very demure. I love her. She drinks tea, and her retainers are far and away better than Alfred's retainers.
Yeah.
So
spoilers for Alfred's retainers.
I put her as support worthy.
Yeah, she's a support worthy.
I think
what a queen.
Given your opinion of her as well, probably ahead of male Alir.
Yeah.
Because male Alir is here, you know, barely. Because you would have put him probably frequently on the team. So ahead of male Alir for Saline. Bougeron.
Yeah, I'm not reversing time for
I'm not reversing time for him.
I'm sorry, buddy. Like,
the first time I played, I fucking hated Bougeron. His color scheme, disgusting. His haircut, gross. His entire personality, whack. But then I started
his personality
replaying.
is boring.
Yeah, but then I started replaying, and I'm like, he's so normal that I can't hate him. He's very, like, just a guy. I feel like if he had a slightly better color scheme, I would put him in good filler, because he is a backup unit, and I do like the backup units. That said, I think I would be more likely to reverse time for him this time than Fram, maybe, but at the end of the day, I think he goes behind Fram.
Yeah.
He's a less fun character than Fram.
Yeah.
Etier, a lot of the same complaints. Her design is very cute, but the color scheme is whack, and the design is very at odds with her character.
I just don't understand anything about Etier, and I wouldn't reverse time for her.
Yeah, she's got, like, I would reverse time for her in the first playthrough, ahead of Bougeron, this time behind Bougeron, because she's got all these frills and bows and stuff, and, like, yeah, it's a cute design, but I look at her outfit and I'm like, I could not fire a bow in that thing. That looks so tight around the arms and shoulders. And while I do respect the idea of having the cute girl aesthetic combined with a, tough, like, rough and rowdy workout kind of character, it feels like that's the only reason they did it. It feels like they just were like, we'll juxtapose this character's personality with a really cutesy design, and then didn't put any further thought into it. And granted, I have not gotten very many of her supports because I don't particularly like her. I don't really use her at all, even in the early game, because you get a better archer pretty soon. So
yeah, it's just
maybe there's an Etier stan who will come into the comments and be like, oh, actually, there is a good explanation for why her design and her character personality are like that, but I don't care, so bye.
I feel like another character who is kind of the exact opposite of her in this regard is done much better. That comes in later. We'll get to her later.
Yeah, we'll get to them later. Two of them, honestly. We'll get to them later. Louis.
I love Louis. And Listen. Listen. I would support Louis for multiple reasons. 1, he looks like one of my OCs. 2, he's voiced by J. Michael Tatum, and that makes my current brain rot very happy. 3, he's a heavy armor unit, and I am all about that. 4, he's kind of a creep, and I'm also all about that.
Like, he's a creep in a way that's very non-threatening.
Yeah, he's like a very non-threatening
which is really hard to pull off.
Yeah, I love him. I love him, Your Honor.
Oh, shoot. I might be about to break your heart.
I know. You don't care about him.
I do love his design, and I love he's very quirky.
Yeah.
It's just that with my play style, I really do not favor heavy armor units all that much, because I prefer movement, and just by virtue of being heavy armor, they don't get to move much, which means they're usually way behind the rest of my team. They don't get the levels. I think he is a great unit to have as an early heavy armor unit. I do love his supports with Chloe, and I'm mad that they can't get married. I'm so mad that there aren't paired endings for anyone else in this game.
This drives me nuts. I'm over here shipping everyone, and then you're all like, oh, by the way, there's no marriage options. And I'm like, what?
There are in my soul, though. There are in my soul. I would definitely reverse time for him. So I was going to put him in good filler, but if you would support him, then I'm going to go ahead and put him...
Frequently on the team?
Frequently on team. I'll put him ahead of Vander.
Okay.
At least.
Don't break my heart too much.
Yeah. Chloe's
is
a queen.
Worthy. She's so good.
She never gets hit. She's critting all the time.
She's constantly...
She's silly.
She is constantly getting VIP...
She is always the MVP of the battle.
MVP, yes.
She's on a horse that flies. She's got the cutesy personality. She likes fairy tales. She's like people watching with Louis. She's people watching a little too aggressively with Lear. Her hairstyle, her outfit, everything about her. I honestly...
What a queen.
She probably comes the closest to Marth for me. I think I would put her ahead of Saline.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, Chloe is a top tier
unit. For the record,
I don't go anywhere without Chloe.
Chloe, Louis, Saline, poly ship forever.
Exactly.
They're in a polycule. They're all married, legally, and it's a thing. It's canon.
It's fact.
I was told by my uncle that works at Nintendo.
Exactly. You know, I have a cousin at Intelligent Systems who says the same thing. So.
Yes. They're both Japanese. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Jean.
Okay.
I wanted to hate him. I really did.
I know. He's such a good healer unit. But I'm just
doctor,
all like,
but...
okay, he's such a good healer unit, but also I want to punt this little British boy into the stratosphere. Like, simply for being British. It's the American in me.
Like, I wanted to hate him. I'm not a very big fan of his design. It's a cute design, but it doesn't feel very...
okay design.
It doesn't feel fitting for the setting.
I think it's hilarious that all the people in his village specifically all have British accents.
Just this one little area of Britain.
This one little inlet, New Britain, in the middle of Holland.
Yeah, it's like... Again, I like his design, but I don't feel... And I know that a lot of people are like, oh, this game doesn't feel like Fire Emblem, it feels like Genshin, and I've never played Genshin, so I don't give a fuck about that.
It's certainly a lot of... from what I've seen of the character designs, I do see the Genshin influence, and it definitely... when I heard that the lead character designer works mainly with VTuber models, I was all like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Because it's all very ornate and crazy and super colorful, outlandish designs.
And even some of the, expressive animations during, the little cutscenes feel very VTuber to me. But yeah, back to Jean. So, he's such a good unit, though.
Yeah,
he's so overpowered.
He's a really good unit.
He's...
Just put him frequently on the team.
Yeah.
Let's get that over with.
I don't want to put him in as support.
No.
But I would say he's, up there, right with Alfred in terms of frequently on my team.
Yeah.
I almost never go anywhere without him because he's just that good.
He's a really good healer. Just stick frickin'
He's a really good healer, and because of how quickly his stats grow, he's decent offense as well.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a problem with him past maybe the first 2 or 3 levels that you have him for. You get him really early, and
you get his best emblem really early, too.
Yeah.
Just slap Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town on him and forever.
and it's good to go. But yeah, like, you know, you could say, like, oh, well, healers, they're kind of squishy.
Yeah.
But his stats level so quickly that he's not squishy for very long, so he almost immediately just bumps Fram out of her spot.
He's got that, what's the...
Aptitude or whatever.
Yeah. So...
Whatever villagers normally get in a Fire Emblem game that makes them insanely good.
Yeah.
Except you get him so early that he's not that far behind everyone else when you get him. Assuming that you do the paralog as soon as it opens, which I do.
Yeah. It's always a good thing to pick up a extra healer, especially because he's just a really good healer.
Oh, okay. Now we have Diamant.
I love Diamant.
I fucking love Diamant.
I would support Diamant.
I would support Diamant. And he's a backup unit.
I would let him into my
Like, I didn't use him very much in my first playthrough. I didn't really use a lot of sword users, I noticed, in my first playthrough. Because, again, I prefer a mounted unit. He's not very fast. He doesn't move around the field very quickly.
Well, and also...
but...
Alir's a sword unit, so you always end up kind of defaulting to, oh, this is my main sword guy.
Yeah, Alir's usually the main sword person, but now I would support Diamant.
Yeah, he's hot. Look at him.
He's hot. I would also...
Speaking of characters you would support.
I would also and did support Alchrist, and what a fail husband. What a little fail boy. What a cringy little sad, wet, pathetic kitten.
He is so... sopping.
Look at my fail husband. He's got a little barrette that keeps his bangs out of his hair. Just fucking cut him, you idiot. It's great. He's got a wolf. He learns to woo. I love him.
He's the most useless man on the planet.
I care him so much.
He also crits forever.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so useless. And then he just, like, takes out an entire army by himself. And I'm like, shut the fuck
Slap
up,
Lynn
Alchrist.
on him. He kills the boss from the other side of the map.
Just takes Sombron out with a shot to the eye from, like, 10 paces away.
He's like, I'm so useless. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I would put him ahead. And, okay, we might need to start debating the placement within that support. I put him ahead of Malalir.
Yeah.
But not... You know, as much as I like him more than Saline, I think Saline is better overall.
I personally would put Diamant ahead of Malalir.
I'll allow it. Because he needs to be next to his brother so he can hold his hand. And, like, tell him it's okay.
Yeah.
You do not separate.
Like...
They're a pair. Again, the red and blue thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is also a polycule.
Yeah.
This could also be a polycule.
Yeah.
You know, Alir has 2 hands.
Well, I mean, let's be real. They all have 2 hands.
They all have 2 hands,
That would be
yeah.
just a mutually...
This is just the polycule game.
The polycule game. And yet, only one character can get married.
Rude as fuck.
And even then, some of the freaking S supports aren't even romantic. It's so ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
This is my biggest complaint with this game, let's be real.
Yeah, alright. Next one, Amber. I really want to put frequently on my team, but I have to be honest with myself because I almost never used Amber in my first run through because, again, I had so many Cavalier units already. I like Amber a lot.
I'm just like, you're all right, but if I'm honest with myself, I would not reverse time for him.
Okay, I'm gonna put him in good filler then. Mm-hmm. Because I do love his whole thing with, like, the alpacas.
Yeah, like, it's a funny joke, but that's, like, the only thing that any of his supports are about.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay.
Jade.
I love Jade.
I think Jade is probably my favorite heavy armor unit in this game. I love that she's a rider and that she's got... I love that she's me.
I love that she's Tanya.
Yeah, like, she's pretty great. I would say frequently on my team.
Yeah.
Maybe ahead of probably ahead of Louis for me, but not ahead of Louis for you. I'm gonna put her right here ahead of Vander.
Yeah.
Citrine.
Who?
Not reversing time for. Would reverse time for her more than Bougeron, but probably not more than Fram.
Yeah.
I just never used Alchrist retainers because you already have Saline.
Yeah, why would you
And like
use
Citrine
anyone else?
Citrine is fun, but she doesn't stand out enough from Saline because they're both kind of, the rich, classy nobility. Citrine would probably do the Ojo laugh more than Saline would, but that's really all that makes her stand out. And then Lapis is kind of the same.
Also who? I don't know these people.
Yeah, I just didn't really use any of Alchrist's retainers. She is a backup unit, which is nice, but you get Diamant almost right after you get her.
Yeah.
Oh, Winnie, do you have strong feelings about that?
I like Lapis.
Okay, well, I would be more likely to reverse time for her than for Fram, at least. She's the top of the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Also, I see a lot of people ship her with Alchrist, and I'm like, no, that man is definitely gay. So
I'm sorry.
Yunaka.
Um,
Shannon's gonna hate me for this. Because that's Shannon's fucking waifu, but I would not reverse time for her.
I would put her in good filler just because, like, she's a rare thief in the game. Like, there's only one other regular thief that you can get. Like, she's not the better thief, but she's okay.
Yeah, like, I'm willing to put her in good filler. But yeah, she's one of those characters that, like Jean, she just kind of feels out of place.
Yeah.
But she's not just out of place with her design, but also her personality with, like, the Haya Papaya and Zappy. And, like, I get it that some people think that that's really cute. I'm sure that's what they were going for. It is quirky, and Engage is a deeply unserious game, as it is. I don't think it's like, oh, this is the worst Fire Emblem ever because there's a silly character, but it's just not something that works for me personally.
All right, so
Saphir.
I remember you using her pretty regularly.
I tried to. I wanted to use her mostly because I wanted to get her supports with Alchrist because they are the only two characters in the game that talk about the Queen of Brodia in any capacity. Because apparently, I don't know if you guys knew this, you wouldn't have unless you got Saphir and Alchrist's supports. Alchrist and Diamant's mother is alive. She does not appear within this game at all, but she is alive.
Sir not appearing in this picture.
Yeah, like, I guess when the war broke out, she went somewhere for her safety. Yeah, she's around. Like, she's not dead or anything. I've been reading a fanfic that features her that's pretty good, so that might color my view of that a little bit, but outside of, I don't know, she's okay.
Yeah, I would say good filler.
Yeah, personally for me, I put her ahead of Yunaka.
Okay.
I did use her more than I used Yunaka.
Yeah.
Still not, the top tier in any means. Ivy.
Ivy's a support.
I support Ivy. She's adorable. She's great. She's like the edgy Christian in a country of Satanists. Like, just everything about her character, her design, her delivery. She's a good unit. I love her with Byleth.
I like how freaking awkward she is.
Yeah.
She has no social skills whatsoever, and I dig it.
I also see her shipped a lot with Diamant, and I'm like, she can join the polycule.
Yeah.
She could be in the polycule.
I dig a woman with autism.
I'm going to put her slightly ahead of Malelir because I feel like we're more in agreement with these ones than we were with Malelir. Hortensia. Now, here's the first cutesy character to discuss.
Yeah.
Where her cutesy design and outfit has a story component behind it, fits in with her character and her personality very well, and doesn't look like it would interfere with her combat capabilities.
Yeah.
So overall...
Well, yeah, she's a wyvern rider. Yeah. So, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, so take everything that I hated about Etier and make it work, and you've got Hortensia.
Like,
I do find her slightly annoying.
I kind of like the fact that she's annoying.
But yeah, like...
She's a character that is annoying, but well written.
She's annoying on purpose.
She's like a little sister.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to find her a little grating. You should not want to romance her, at least in my opinion. I'm sure there's someone out there who does, and, you know, more power to you, but not me. I would say frequently on my team.
Like that type. Yeah, frequently on my team.
Ahead of Louis for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Zelkov.
I like Zelkov.
I like Zelkov. I like him a lot more.
I like his emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I love his little quirk. I love that he looks all dark and edgy, but he runs an Etsy shop.
He makes crafts.
I like that he's so deeply into craft making. I like that he straight up is just like, I don't give a fuck about Princess Ivy. This is a job to me.
I don't know if I would support him, but I would definitely put him in the front of frequently on my team.
I think so. Especially
he is the better thief than Yunaka, sorry, but
yeah,
it's true.
I love him as like an assassin. I did make him the Wolf Rider.
Yeah, I remember
in my first playthrough.
A
woo. Because he just felt like he would have a persona.
Yeah.
And
he has an Etsy shop and a persona.
Yeah. And I'm probably not going to do it again though, because I was so disappointed that he didn't have a black wolf.
I know.
Completely missed opportunity.
That drove me nuts.
Like his wolf did not match his aesthetic at fucking all. But I imagine that he just picked up wolf taming as another one of his hobbies. Yeah. So, like, if I were to use Lapis in a playthrough, I would probably make her a wolf rider.
Yeah.
Just so I could have one, because I do love that class. I think it's really funny. But they got just big fucking furry wolf tails in their designs.
I can't believe Fire Emblem introduced furries.
Yeah.
I mean, there already were, but, you know.
I am going to probably be using a lot of these characters more in my current playthrough that we're doing with one of our other friends. Because, okay, I recently restarted so that one of our friends who had only seen me play part of the game could see it from the beginning. Because she just missed a lot of the context. She kind of came in when I was almost done with the DLC. So she really seemed to enjoy it, so I wanted to play it with her to show her the characters. Because she really likes that kind of thing. And I think what I'm going to do, just so we do get some more varied supports, is anytime I go back and do like a paralog map or a like just gaining experience map,
you're going to use
I'm only using characters from that region. Okay. So like if it's in, you know, let's say we get to a paralog and the paralog is takes place in Brodia, then I will only use characters that are native to Brodia, and of course Alir, and I will also allow for characters from the Somniel just because there are no, from Lethos, just because there are really no maps in Lethos.
Yeah.
To try and just vary up the amount of characters that I'm using, because this is a large cast, and you do kind of end up not getting to use everyone.
Yeah.
And even on classic mode, it's not especially difficult. So I just want to get more time with all of the characters, because even some of the characters that are down in good filler, or I'm not reversing time, I would still like to see all their supports.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Kagetsu. I'm not reversing time for you.
Like, I would put him in good filler simply because I do enjoy his, like, very toxic back and forth with, the name suddenly escaped me.
Zelkov,
yes.
I love that he just is so about the power of friendship, but the power of friendship is fight.
Yeah.
And I do like his design.
Yeah.
I just hardly, like I said, I almost never used...
He was very much a literally who...
Yeah, like
your last playthrough, I remember.
I never really used any other sword units besides Alir, so even Diamant I didn't get around to using much because he just wasn't fast enough to keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll put him ahead of Yunaka. Sorry, Shannon. I'm sorry, I know that's your girl. She barely got ahead of not reversing time for her, though.
Anyway, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we have another S support worthy.
Rosato is amazing, and I love this little femboy twink. I love that he has such a masculine class, too. The axe-wielding wyvern lord.
Yes.
I hate that he doesn't have any supports with Chloe.
I know.
I feel like they should interact because they would be besties.
Yes.
And on that note, I am putting him right next to her.
Yes.
Even ahead of Saline. Rosato is perfect, and I will take no criticisms whatsoever. He wears the female clothing in the Somnial.
Yes.
I don't know if the implication is that this is a trans woman or if this is just a man who's very comfortable with cross-dressing and likes to play with gender presentation. Either way, icon, slay, love that.
Fey gender motherfucker, any pronouns, baby.
Like, him and Hortensia are the best, the cutest. I love them both.
Yes.
And then we have Gold Mary. Fucking who?
See, okay, I would put Gold Mary at least in good filler because I do really like her design. I like
that she looks like Mommy from
she
Monica
looks
Magica.
like Mommy from Monica Magica. I like her and Rosato and Hortensia's dynamic a lot.
They do have a fun
Like,
dynamic.
they
It's
have
another polycule.
A really kind of silly, like, somewhat toxic besties thing going, but you can tell they also like care about each other. They just like to rib it with each other.
And she is another backup unit.
Yeah, and like she's really cute. I like her.
Yeah.
So I would put her in good filler just simply because we didn't get to see a lot of her in your last playthrough.
That's true.
But I was like, no, I want to see more of her though.
See, my thing is
I'm
that
all about the yellow and dark brown color scheme also as well.
it is nice. I look at her and I look at Lapis and I think they're the same unit type, and I feel like looking at the two pictures side by side, they just look like color palette swaps of each other almost.
Yeah. Well,
But I do favor Gold Mary more than Lapis.
well, and I think if I recall correctly, the whole thing with Rosato, Hortensia, and Gold Mary was that they're all flying units.
No, she's not a flying unit.
I thought she was.
No.
Wasn't she?
No, she's a hero.
Oh. I thought for sure that she was on the back of something.
No. I mean, you could put her on the back of something. This is easily the game where you can play around with character classes the most because it literally does not matter. You could do anything with any of them. Okay, I will put her behind Yunaka, though.
Okay.
Just
Fair enough.
simply because she is, in terms of gameplay mechanics, at least from my viewpoint, almost exactly the same as Lapis.
Oh, Anna.
Anna.
I'm not reversing time for you, girl.
This is
I'm
my
sorry.
least favorite Anna.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the Annas that have ever existed, I like this one not at all. I'm not a huge fan of, like, the little kid characters.
I mean, I like the fact that she leans into having all these sisters that are all named Anna.
Yeah, but that's, again, the same thing with all Annas.
Well,
all Annas do that.
I don't remember the Three Houses one ever bringing that up.
I don't remember the Three Houses one ever bringing up anything ever.
Yeah.
But in Awakening, it's that way. They're all sisters named Anna.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of the gimmick with that character. Like, it's a running gag in the series.
Ah, okay.
Like, I think in Three Houses, they do mention that the one that appears in the market at Garreg Mach and the one that appears, like, out on the battlefields, because you can shop from the battlefield, are two separate Annas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, Jean gets by despite being a kid character. Anna can't do that for me.
I'm sorry,
She's
Anna.
too generic. Like, okay, at least in Awakening, which is probably my favorite. Well, no, my favorite Anna is from Heroes. But I like the Awakening Anna because at the very least she's a fun class because she comes to you pre-promoted in the Trickster class, which is like the one-up from Thief. And it's a really good class. She's a good unit. I don't use her in Awakening that much because she literally only has supports with the player character. She doesn't have supports with, like, anyone else.
Well, yeah, I think that's standard.
Yeah.
Is that, like, anytime you can actually recruit her. She doesn't really have supports with anyone.
Yeah, which I find kind of bland, so she's not my favorite, and making her a kid here, I'm not reversing time.
No, I think this Anna does actually have supports with people. Which does make her a superior Anna in some ways.
In some ways, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think I used her ever.
Yeah.
Tamara.
I like Tamara.
I like Tamara, but I feel I love what they did with her, but I wanted them to lean in a little bit more to it, because I feel like she's a good character. She's a fun character. I like that her outfit is really bright and pops, even though it looks like it's made of balloons. But like, I like that all that with like the singing and stuff, and then combined with her love of camping and meat.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a fun character here.
She's Pinkie Pie.
I really wanted them to take it just one step further and make it like, oh, she's, she's going to inherit the crown of Solm, and they do like this really hardcore, survivalist training for the future queen, and it's supposed to be this really rugged, traumatic thing, but then she just ended up having a ton of fun with it. I really wish it was something like that, just to give her character a little bit more depth.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, she's at the top of good filler.
Oh, see, I would put her frequently on my team, like, for further in, for sure.
I did use her a decent amount.
She's such a good unit.
I think I did.
I feel like...
I did use her, I think, more than Hortensia.
Yeah, like, I feel like she's too good of a unit to put in good filler simply because, like...
She is a good unit.
Even if, you feel like her character is lacking in setup or whatever, she's still, like, a really good unit to have on your team.
Fair enough. Fagato.
I love Fagato.
I do love Fagato. I did not use him very often because I had Alchrist.
Yeah.
I do love that he's a mounted unit.
I love my generic brand Claude.
I love Claude.
I love Claude.
I love Claude.
The Claude we have at home.
Like, I would have put him in the top of good filler, but then I'm also taking into account his personality in the DLC, where he's a manipulative bastard and a sadist, and I'm like, oh, that's spicy. That tastes a little different. That's a little...
I'm happy about this.
That's a little intriguing, so I think I'll put him... I did not frequently use him, but I think I'm going to put him at, like, the bottom of frequently on my team.
Yeah.
The DLC pops him from good filler into frequently on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Marin.
Literally who?
Yeah, I love her because she has the wolf class, but then literally I like animals is her entire personality.
Yeah.
And I kept forgetting whose retainer she even was. She's Tamara's retainer, but like... I was like, who is she? Why is she here?
Tamara has a better retainer.
Yeah, so I think I'm putting her at the... I liked her more than Lapis, but I don't think I'd reverse time for her. Panette, on the other hand, I loved Panette.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Panette.
Did I accidentally... This didn't go right. Yeah, there we go. I like Panette a lot.
Okay.
I like that she's all prim and proper until she's not.
She's the other one that I was talking about where, like, this is Etier done better. Where, like, her appearance is very antithetical to her personality.
But it works. Like, there's more interest in her design overall. There's a lot of textures going on, a lot of different shapes.
Also, okay, so should we tell the listeners about your fun...
Oh, God.
Your
Shame me.
Your time in the... What's it? Trial?
Yeah, it was the Tower of
Trials.
Tempest Trials, whatever the fuck those are called. The thing that... And... Yeah, so I was going to lose, definitely, and I was just kind of fucking around at that point because I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna lose.
And you had Tamara with Ike.
Panette.
Panette with Ike.
I had Panette with Ike, and I was just kind of waiting for her to die because she was my last unit left. So, I came in woefully unprepared.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what I was doing at all, and now I get it, and I could probably do better, but
Yeah.
I had no idea. I hadn't done it before.
Uh-huh.
So I was just waiting for Panette to die, and this bitch just wouldn't go down.
Yeah. And kept using Ike to, like... What was the... it was something to...
Like, it boosts her defense or something.
And, like, every time she kills someone, like, there's a stacking effect of some kind.
Of some kind. I don't remember exactly what it is.
With the abilities that she had. So she was just, like, going berserker mode throughout the entire map, killing everybody.
And I did eventually lose.
But you went, like, through 2 whole maps with just her and no one else.
Yeah, and even then it was, like, down to the wire. I think there was only, like, 2 or 3 enemy units left.
Mm-hmm.
And she just... It was at a point where she was just too outmatched. Like, she couldn't even hit the one that was left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were too fast, and there was no way she could even hit them, so they just kind of whittled her down.
Like, I think at the end of the first map, it was just her and Chloe.
Yeah, and then Chloe went down.
Chloe went down quickly, and then Panette
because they had archers. The next map was, like, all archers.
Yeah, and then Panette bulldozed through the
archers.
whole map, and then bulldozed through the second map, and then, like, died at the very end.
So that was insane. She's S support worthy.
Yeah.
Probably ahead of Ivy for me. If we're talking, firstly, also part of the polycule, goth girlfriends.
Yeah.
But if I have to pick a goth girl from Engage, I'm choosing Panette.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Bonet.
Listen. I like his gimmick. I like that he's kind of this cook and chef and shit. I can't remember a thing about him other than being a chef.
I don't think I ever used him in battle, but I did enjoy his synesthesia.
He's very fancy.
So I think I'll put him slightly behind Yunaka in good filler.
Yeah.
Pandreo.
Pandreo's
See, I love
fun.
how sometimes they, like, give you an outfit and they're like, this is supposed to be your bishop. And I said no, and I put him in that slutty little black mage outfit instead. Which Citrine, I guess, is supposed to be your black mage. And I said no, and I made Pandreo do it. And I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed him. And I would put him at the top of frequently on my team.
Yeah, fair.
Not quite S support, but I do like him a lot.
He makes your husband go awoo.
Awoo. Seedall.
I don't think we used Seedall.
We didn't, but I think that's largely because I don't really understand how to use dancers.
Well, no, you know how to use dancers. The thing is that you slapped Byleth, which basically gives you the dancer ability, onto a flying unit, and then was all like, well, this is all I ever need now. And you were right.
And I was right. I would like to use him more next playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his design. I think his personality is a bit understated for this game, but I do like him. He reminds me a lot of Llewellyn.
Yeah.
So I think I'm putting him at the top of good filler. Like, I think he'll be a more interesting unit if I actually take the time to use him and learn how to... Because dancers can be kind of hard because the way their stats work out, they're kind of fragile, but you need them to be in kind of the thick of things to dance on people.
Uh-huh.
So now that I've had some practice using Dorothea as a dancer in Three Houses and learning what not to do with a dancer with Olivia in Awakening, I think I could probably use him more effectively now.
Okay.
And hell, I might give him Byleth just to have fun. Because of that, because of seeing Byleth and Engage, I am thinking of, for the next time I do a Three Houses run, I'm probably going to do Golden Deer, and I'm going to make Byleth be my dancer. Because, like, Byleth is the only unit, like, player, character unit that can be a dancer.
Yeah.
And I can't pass that up. So, yeah, that's going to be... Okay, Veil.
Sister support worthy.
Sister support worthy. Yeah,
She's baby girl.
She's really cute.
Protect her from all harm.
She's a really good unit, too.
Yeah.
She is a way better unit than I was expecting. I love the long hair. I love her, like, white swan-looking outfit.
Slap Tiki on her, and she's a beast.
Oh, I love her with Tiki. I just like to imagine her and Tiki having, like, their little, like, sleepovers.
I need them to have tea parties together.
She goes right here.
Next to
brother.
Yes.
I love that they made these two and it doesn't feel like a fucking brocon, ciscon ship fuel thing, which was the reason I had to quit watching Demon Slayer, completely unrelated to this video. Like, I'm sorry, but I was watching Demon Slayer and I'm like, the show wants me to ship these two, right? Like... The show wants you to look at Tanjiro and Nezuko and be like, well, they're not going to be a canon ship because they're related, but there's definitely subtext. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I can't put up with this farce anymore. I'm out. Like,
yeah.
Like, at no point watching any of their interactions did I get the feeling that these were siblings. So, but I do feel like Vale and Alir actually feel like siblings.
Is such a little cutie.
And it makes sense for this game because in this game all of the royals have siblings.
Yeah.
And so you get a pretty wide variety of sibling relationships going on. So yeah, they don't like get on each other's nerves and stuff like some siblings would, but you have like Tamara and Fagato and Celine and Alfred to do a little bit of that. Mm-hmm. It's all much more... Actually, I feel like the most antagonistic sibling relationship that we have here is Panette and Pandreo.
Yeah.
I feel like Panette looks at him and she's like, fucking stop that.
I feel kind of bad. Well, I also feel bad for, like, Ivy and Hortensia because they're kind of pitted against each other.
Yeah, like, they personally don't have anything against the other one, but society wants them to hate each other. There's a lot with, like, sibling dynamics going on in this game that I don't feel like Alir and Vale feel out of place as siblings.
There's some nice sibling writing here.
Yeah, there's some good sibling stuff here. Mavir.
A support. I love Mavir.
Daddy. Hi, Daddy.
Where you put him?
I put him ahead of Panette, but not ahead of Diamant.
Yeah, him and Diamant
Mostly
are kind of on the
They're
level.
The same.
Yeah.
They're equal, but I don't want to...
They're both so depressed.
I don't want to put him between... Like, in my heart, he would go slightly above Diamant, because, Daddy.
Not in my
But
heart,
I don't want to separate Alchrist and Diamant.
Listen,
even a little.
Him and Diamant are two sides of the same depressed coin.
Yeah, truly.
They need to form a support group.
They need to commiserate. Queen Lumera. I love her design.
I love her design, but also she, like, dies so quickly.
See, like, again, I'm here for the parent-child dynamics.
Yeah, but
I love her a lot.
Get any time with her.
I would say just good filler.
She's got, like, a nice... she looks like human Queen Celestia.
I know, and I love that.
But, like, she doesn't have the presence, really, of...
Okay,
Queen Celestia.
I'll bump her down the good filler a little bit to right here.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair compromise. It's like when you fight her at the end, I was like actually getting a little emotional. I also feel like, and this is absolutely nothing against the voice actor for female Alir, but I feel like male Alir just does such a good crying voice that like when Lumera dies, I was like moved actually because I'm like, they just got each other back and now she's dying and she's dying because she gave her divine dragon power to save him and it hurts. And I'm pretty sure that the friend that we were playing the new playthrough with, I'm pretty sure she did cry when Lumera died.
She did.
So I'm like, okay, so we don't get a lot of her, but if her death was impactful enough with just that little bit of screen time.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that she just shows the fuck up in dragon form and decimates the enemy and is like, get on my back, we're going.
Yeah.
I love a dragon.
Get in the car.
Like, I love her. You know, I'm putting her ahead of Amber.
Okay.
She deserves to be a little higher up. Zephia.
Okay, so for these last three, I have a request.
Yes.
Can we also take into account their DLC?
Absolutely,
versions?
yes. We are
So Zephia /
Celestia.
Yeah.
Celeste. Dear Princess Celestia.
That being said, as support worthy.
As worthy, absolutely. In both versions, honestly.
Yeah, but
step
like,
on me.
Just
Step on me, mommy.
she's got the mind control powers. She's hot.
She's a dragon.
She's a dragon. And like
Mommy.
she's such a good unit when you get her for the DLC. Like
I put her behind Mavier, but only a little.
yeah, only a little.
Only a little. My name Greg.
Greg / fucking
Grell? Is his name
no,
Grell?
No, it's
Grizz? What the fuck is this man's name? Hang on a second. Fire Emblem Engage. 4 hounds. What the fuck is his name?
It's all I think of is my name, Greg.
And that's not even the meme, it's my name, Jeff. Who the fuck is he?
Gris, yeah.
Gristle.
Gris.
Gristle over here.
Gris.
Greg.
Greg. I love him as Greg.
Throw water bottles at this man. Get sucked, idiot.
Get sucked in. Literally every time he comes on screen, he's like, "Oh, I don't know where I'm here.
I'm here because I threw up in the mascot costume." But then I like the DLC version of him so much more. But
yeah,
the DLC version of him is funny because of the OG one.
Yeah. And just
Either way.
Okay, the OG one is also kind of hilarious in like the edgy I made this OC when I was 13 kind of way.
I put him ahead of Hortensia infrequently on my team.
Yeah, he's very
having
fun.
a good time.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
We love a medic that is addicted to pain.
Yeah. Which because in the DLC he's a medic and then in the regular he's a mage, but either way, like Hubert is trying to be this man.
Yeah.
I feel like if Hubert was just a little bit more flamboyant, he would be this man. And I do love Hubert, so that's what you get. Okay, and then we have Marnie / I want to say Marinette, and that's not her name.
No.
It starts with an M.
Madeline?
Madeline.
Yes.
Marnie / Madeline. I like Marnie more.
I actually, I like both of them for different reasons.
They are two very, very different characters. And
but
not in the way that the other ones are, like, different, but in just I don't necessarily see her as the opposite. Like, the other ones are supposed to be all opposites of each other.
They aren't opposites in the normal way. They're opposites in the way that they like cope with the shit that went on in their lives. That being said, I would put her at the front of frequently on my team. I wouldn't be able to support her, but I want her as close to Mavier as possible.
See, I would put her in, like, good filler.
I love her so much. Like, I love her character arc, and I love how her character is written.
I will put her at the back of frequently on my team. Actually, I will put her ahead of Jade.
Okay.
On frequently on my team, because her character is good. Yeah. She is well written.
Her character is probably one of the better written.
Like, out of all the enemy characters, hers is really good.
She's got that spicy trauma that I live for.
Yeah, and she does do, like, the heroic sacrifice thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I'm pretty comfortable.
And, like, her thing with Mavier is, like, that's goody.
Peak. Like, that is her father / that's her dad and her daddy.
Yeah. All right.
Like, dad for Marnie, daddy for Madeline.
Yeah.
To me, that's how it shakes out. Like, she's too immature as Marnie to be with Mavier.
Yeah.
But Madeline could definitely
Madeline is a full-grown woman that pays her taxes and is It is chasing after that Bara at full speed.
Not only does Madeline pay her taxes, but she is the one that you go to for help with your taxes. She is an adult.
She has a degree in accounting, and she will help you with your taxes. And she is chasing that Bara at top speed.
At top speed. She has a 401k, and she has a health savings account, and she's got a little
checkbook.
And then she also has a little sugar daddy fund, except she's not the sugar baby in this relationship. She's like,
I will fund your life, Mavier. Don't think I won't.
All right, so no one could break Marth tier, obviously, but okay, if we're gonna talk about the emblems, which sadly are not here.
Let's also talk about the other DLC characters,
yes,
they aren't here either.
We'll do them first. So let's just get right to him. Rafal is S support.
Rafal is my boy.
Rafal beats Chloe in S support, even though he's a fucking fail husband.
Yeah, he's a fail husband, and that's why he beats Chloe. Chloe is too good at things. We need someone who's going to be at least a little bit dependent.
Like, clearly looking at how high Alchrist is ranked.
Yeah.
We're all about fail husbands here, so...
we love strong women and useless men here.
And I love both. I love when he's pretending to be even more of a fail husband as Nil.
Yeah.
And then I love him being a little scrunky, angry baby as Rafal. So S support, highest of S support tier goes to Rafal.
And yes, we did put him in the mascot costume.
Oh,
at
yeah.
The Somniel. That's his uniform.
We're like getting the fucking mascot costume, Rafal.
And he's like...
Do the dance, Rafal.
We're just like, shh, as we lower the head onto him.
And we will be S supporting him in the new run.
Yeah.
Because I already S supported Alchrist, so I don't need to do it again. Nell, on the other hand, is like... good filler, I guess.
I would put Nell frequently on my team, especially because she can turn into the dragon.
That is fun.
But also, like, she's a really good character with a really, like, sad freaking story that just... Ooh.
So you enjoyed her so much more than I did, but...
I love me a sad girl.
See, I would... Now that we're actually going through the game, and I actually started the game with the DLC this time, because last time I bought the DLC when I was almost done with the game, and then went back through it. So now we're playing the DLC in tandem with the main game, which means we'll have access to those units much sooner. And I feel like I will probably like Nell a little bit more. I wasn't crazy about her design.
I mean, she
like
kinda...
it looks good next to Rafal,
yeah,
but on its own, it just kind of meh.
And I feel so bad for her because she lost her twin without even knowing.
Or did she? Yeah, okay, I'd say she could go in, like, the back of...
like, girl, I'm so sorry.
She's either top of good filler or back of frequently on my team. She's a pretty solid character, though.
Yeah.
And we already talked about the 4 wins, and we brought up where they were relevant, the DLC versions of the characters, because some of them were just like, I'm sailing and I'm evil, and... Yeah. Alchrist was fun. DLC Alchrist is, like, really intense.
It's like, bruh.
And I've seen a lot of good, like, content of Xenologue Alchrist that's just very fun for me to watch, but again, it only really works in the fact that it's so contrasting with his regular self. Mm-hmm. The Fagato Xenologue made me, like, suspicious of regular Fagato. I was like, you are not as actually cutesy as you seem. But that just fed into him being Claude-coded to me.
Yeah,
so
he's so Claude-coded, I can't get away from it.
I love it, though. It's great. I don't think there's any other DLC exclusives. So let's talk about the emblems.
The emblems.
Marth goes in Marth tier.
It's Marth. He belongs in the Marth tier.
I kicked my little feet. I get all giggle. It's Marth. Look at him. His liver looks better.
That being said, I think Byleth also belongs in the Marth tier.
Byleth also belongs in Marth tier.
That's
gender.
That's just the gender category for you specifically.
Marth / gender. Well, if I put / gender, I'd have to put male Alir in there as well, so it'll just say Marth for now. But
okay.
Marth. Prince Mars himself.
Prince
He's
Mars,
here.
wow.
He is the reason why I bought this game. Because I saw Shannon playing it, and, like, I saw some of the emblems, but they, you know, were, like, from Awakening and stuff, so I was like, oh, whatever, like, I don't care that much about Lucina. And I thought it was, like, DLC stuff anyway. Like, I wasn't really aware.
Lucina!
I don't know what was going on with me in my life at the time that Shannon got engaged, because I don't even remember when he got it. Like, I do not remember the purchase of Fire Emblem Engage.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it during lockdown?
Maybe, like...
Yeah, so...
We were probably quarantining or something. I don't know, but... Like... I don't know. When did it even come out? I'm not going to Google that,
Yeah.
but... So anyway, yeah. So I did not cerebrally, like, remember that Shannon had a new Fire Emblem game. I didn't even know there was a new Fire Emblem game out. I don't know. I remember seeing him play it, and my brain just kind of glossing it over and being like, oh, this is some weird, like, side game thing to Warriors or something. Like, this isn't a new Fire Emblem. And then I found out Martha's in it, and I was like, oh! It's my man! So yeah, Marth and Byleth can go in the Marth tier. Sigurd is S support worthy.
Sigurd's a good man.
I love Sigurd.
He's trying his best. He misses
Stop reminding him that he outlived his child by a lot. That he never got to see Celeste grow up.
No, he didn't outlive his child. He died before his child.
I'm opposite.
Opposite
of that.
He died, and then his wife...
Salif.
Yeah.
Like, I always say Salif. I think it's Salif.
I don't know.
But, whatever. Every, like, half of the supports that you have with Sigurd are just him being like, yeah, it really sucks that I didn't get to see my son grow up.
I miss my wife. We're just like, dang, I'm sorry, boy.
We're like, just put this man out of his misery. Celica.
Ash Ketchum from Palette. Or no.
Not yet. I really
wish
like...
I had the pictures.
Yeah. I really like Celica. I would say frequently on my team. Mm-hmm. Warp Ragnarok is really fun to play with.
Yeah.
I've never played Celica's game. I'm not familiar with her as a character.
Stones? Yeah.
As all that much, but... No, Shadows of Valentia.
Oh, yeah. Sacred Stones.
/ Echoes. Sacred Stones is Erica.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I always get these freaking games confused.
I'm not super familiar with Celica, but she seems cute. Mm-hmm. I like her. I like her design. She's aight. Micaiah, Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town.
Again, frequently on team. I never played either of the Radiant Dawn, Path of Radiance. I never played those games. Mm-hmm. So I'm not familiar with her, but she seems fun. She seems very sweet, and she can see the future and stuff. Like,
I know that
her design's a little understated, but I like her.
Like, from what I've seen of the fandom, she's a very divisive character. Like, people either love her or hate her.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that. All I know is she healed my team real good. And
she slap her on Little British Boy. Yeah, win forever.
I'd put her in good filler.
Yeah.
Like, her design doesn't do a whole lot for me, but from what I understand, she's like some kind of rebel leader, something or other, so it makes sense that she doesn't have a very ornate outfit. Mm-hmm. Then who do we get after that? Lynn,
yeah.
I know Lynn is super popular. I'm really bummed that you can't get the trio all together.
Yeah.
I'd say frequently on my team for Lynn.
Yeah. I mean, you slap her on Elchrist.
Yeah.
And win forever.
But I mean, just like her as a character, as a design, I think she's pretty cool looking, and she gives like why not energy to me. Yeah. So frequently on my team. This is where we find out who really is good filler, because I probably won't be able to remember all of the emblems. Ike, good filler, I guess.
Ike is a fun one.
Like, I enjoy him. and his interactions, but in terms of using him as an emblem, I didn't use him that much. Like, I did pair him up with Panette, and that was kind of fun, but I don't know. Not wild about it. Corin kind of sucked to me.
You know who you forgot?
Maybe I just wasn't... I have not forgotten him. I'm waiting.
But he was in Brodia.
I know he was in Brodia. I'm gonna circle back. I gotta go with Corin while I can remember that Corin was in this game. Because if I start talking about Roy, that's it.
Well, you already brought him up.
Damn it. Okay.
Sorry, Corin. Throws you into good filler.
Not reversing time for Corin.
Sorry,
and I know that Corin can't die or anything, and it's not because I hate Fire Emblem Fates. Because I have never played Fire Emblem Fates, I don't even have any... I want to play it, despite knowing that it's, the quote-unquote worst one.
Yeah.
I still want to play it. But
alas.
Corin's emblem just didn't strike me as very...
Maybe
I'm just not using it the right way.
It mostly is like,
It's like area effects.
Yeah,
and
area hazard and whatnot.
And I'm like, I wasn't thrilled about it. I didn't find that to be particularly interesting.
Yeah.
Roy is such a good little lad.
Roy is perfect.
Roy could go in Marth tier.
Roy's in Marth tier.
Roy has to be next to his boyfriend.
He has to be there so he can hold Marth's hand.
He is holding Marth's hand. I really wish that the emblems got to interact with each other so that, they could at least make a little mention of Marth and Roy knowing each other from somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going with the whole multiverse thing in this universe, this game. I thought that would just be a cute little nod because they have given nods to Smash before.
Yeah.
Like Dancing Blade is a Smash original move for Marth, and then some Fire Emblem game references it. So they have acknowledged things from Smash before, so I thought it would have been really cute. Especially because Sigurd does make mention of Leaf being his nephew. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I almost forgot about Leaf. Not reversing time for you, Leaf. Sorry.
You have a grudge against Leaf.
I have a grudge against him.
He whooped your freaking butt on his paralog.
He beat my ass in that paralog. What the fuck?
He's all like, "Hi, time to let you know that Thracia is a hard game, actually."
Thracia 776 was not a good time for anybody. Hits me with a ballista. Especially because I like flying units a lot.
Destroys you with a ballista from across the map.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll send my flyer across the moat to get him. No, you won't.
And then he, pulls out 20 guys. And you're like, oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I activated his trap card. I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Erica and Ephraim, also not reversing time. Nothing against them. Just, I've never played their games. I do have Ephraim in Heroes, and he's pretty fun, but he's just kind of generic Fire Emblem protag.
I just stared directly at Erica and Ephraim, and I'm like, I know what you are.
I know what you are.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
We have a lot of sibling dynamics in this game, and we didn't need one more. Not reversing time for them. Byleth is in Marth tier. Who else is there? Who is Solms?
That was...
Solm is Corin, I think.
Yeah, Corin and...
Because Byleth is in, Illusia.
Yeah.
Because fucking course Byleth's in Illusia. Byleth can't catch a break anywhere. Okay. Marth, Sigurd, Celica, Micaiah, Roy, Lynn. Byleth, Erica, Corin, Leaf, Ike, Erica.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all 12 of them, right? Yeah, okay, we got all 12. Now for the DLC, who can I fucking remember? Tiki! Tiki goes in Marth tier because she talks to Marth.
Tiki needs to hold Marth's other hand.
That's his daughter.
Yeah.
That's his child. That's his little baby girl.
I don't know what absolutely sadistic...
Lucina!
Oh,
We forgot Lucina.
I was talking about someone you need to wait.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what sadistic developer decided to put all 3 house leaders in one bracelet.
Why would you do that to them?
Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude. Claude, because of Claude's here, he goes in S tier, by the way.
Yeah, S support worthy because of Claude.
Yeah, like, Claude can't be brought down by these 2 other losers.
Like, Dimitri also goes into platonic S support.
He's sun support.
Yeah.
And Edelgard is,
Edelgard is scrunky, but, you know, the average out.
the S in fascism support.
Shut it.
She puts the S in
You're
fascism.
gonna get us canceled.
No.
Yeah, no, S support. Yeah, Lucina.
Okay, Lucina.
How did I count to 12? Did I count Erica twice?
Maybe.
Well, Lucina. Okay. Cannot believe I forgot about Lucina.
I forgot about
because
her.
we put her with Chloe and they talk about food and it's silly.
Being girly pop.
Girly pop. I would Lucina goes into Marth tier because she cosplays as Marth.
I would put her in as support worthy, but okay.
No, Marth cosplay on point. Again, why don't we get... I really wish the Emblems got to talk to each other, because Lucina and Marth actually do get to talk to each other in the first Warriors game, and it's really great. Because Lucina is just going, oh my god, it's Marth. And Marth is like, I'm just a guy. Have you seen my wife anywhere?
And then Roy pops out of the bushes.
No, my legal wife.
He slowly
because
lowers
Roy
back
doesn't
down
get
into the
anything.
bushes.
Roy hasn't gotten to show up in anything since Smash Ultimate.
Rip.
Roy got to debut in Melee and then was just kind of buried for a while. I'm surprised that Roy is here and not Elliewood, to be honest. Because, like, half the time...
Yeah, they have Ike and they have Lynn, but they don't have...
Hector.
Or Hector. Do they have Hector?
They have Hector. He's a bracelet.
Yeah, they have Hector, and then they have Lynn, but they don't have Elliewood.
And I'm like, this
I'm sorry,
is cruel.
I can't keep all these, like, bulky blue-haired bitches apart.
It's fine. But yeah, like, it's cruel to keep them away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be... They're another polycule that need to be together.
They all need to hold hands in a circle.
In a bracelet. Together.
Together. I don't know why the developers were all like, yes, separate emblems for Hector and Lynn. Let's put all 3 house leaders from 3 houses in a bracelet together just to see what'll happen.
Yeah, well, Lynn's a ring and Hector's a bracelet. But I'm
Yeah.
like, you could have put Hector and Elliewood in a bracelet together.
Well, yeah, I
fucking
said
assholes.
different emblems.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My brain. Okay, who else do I remember from the DLC? I already said Tiki's in Marth tier. Crom also goes in Marth tier, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
He's Marth.
he's Marth. Well, no, I debate that, actually. Having now played Awakening, he is way more hot-headed than Marth ever was. Like, he is a very different character from Marth. Emerin is like Marth. Crom is not like Marth, except for appearance. But he is Lucina's dad. And they actually do get to have a conversation about it. And also Robin is here because they fucking...
Yeah.
So, like, why is Robin here? Well, because they're fucking, that's why.
They're married in there. That's their bracelet.
That's their bracelet.
They live in there together.
They bought that together. They're both of their names are on the mortgage. So he goes in Marth here because he's related to Marth. Veronica is very interesting. Well, because I've started playing Heroes.
Yeah.
Partially so I would know what the fuck was up with Veronica. And, like, I would say frequently on my team.
I would just be like, good filler. She didn't leave much of an impression on me personally.
I would be more interested in getting more supports with her. I think her gimmick is kind of fun considering Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think I like her in Heroes definitely more. I like her design in Engage. But also,
she's kind of Avalon-esque.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Avalon a little bit. So
which is exciting.
Nice. Camilla, never used, not reversing time. I feel like she'll be, if I ever do get to play Fates, I'm probably going to get Conquest, and I feel like Camilla will probably be one of my least favorite characters because she seems very fan servicey in a game that's already really full of fan service. So, to Camilla. Did we miss any of the bracelets? Let me see. Because I feel like Camilla didn't leave an impression either. Are there 6 or 7 bracelets? We got Hector,
3 houses.
Crom, the 3 houses, Kiki, Camilla, Veronica. Is there another bracelet, or are there only 6? Let me Google it. I'm gonna look it up. Fire Emblem Engage DLC bracelets. And whoever's left is probably just going to go into not reversing time.
Soren.
Soren.
No, that's not.
Yeah, Soren is there. Didn't use him at all. So.
Wait, for real? Soren has a bracelet?
Yeah, Soren's got a bracelet. That's how fucking forgettable it was. Not reversing time, I guess. Which sucks, because I do love Soren and Ike as a ship. I don't even remember what Soren's bracelet does.
I think it's like one of the last ones you get.
Yeah,
So.
and like I don't remember Camilla's bracelet either. Like just very forgettable to me. So.
Oh well.
But again, I've never played Fates and I've never played Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn. So I'm sure if I had more of an emotional connection to those characters, probably not Camilla, but I would probably give more of a shit about Soren's bracelet. But as of right now, recording this, not reversing time for it.
Okay.
Again, I don't even fucking remember what it does. And I know there weren't more than 7, so that should be all of them.
Okay.
So that is all of the characters in Fire Emblem Engage.
Including the
DLC.
Including the ones that they didn't have here.
And the emblems ranked. Obviously, we can't really order the ones that aren't here visually, but now you know.
Martha's at the top of Marth tier, and that's all you need to know.
Martha's at the top of Marth tier. Next to Roy, and Lucina, and Tiki. And then Crom is beneath them in Marth tier.
Byleth.
And Byleth is above Crom.
Okay.
Crom is at the bottom of Marth tier.
Okay.
And everyone else is where they are. Because I can't remember off the top of my head where we put the additional 20-something characters that we ranked. And I think it is getting late and I need to probably be in bed now. So thank you for joining us on this little adventure. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to my patrons. If you'd like to see your name here or in the description below, please consider joining my Patreon. Your support means so much to me and allows me to continue making content. If you want to support my content in different ways, consider buying my books, donating on Ko-fi, subscribing to the channel, or even just giving this video a like and comment. Any and everything is appreciated so much. Keep growing till next time, Rose Garden!